Stress impacts us all, but did you know that stress impacts the female brain different than the male brain? I'm Dr. John Bartemus, and I'm putting the pieces together to help you live a life at optimal. Recent research in the journal Nature Communications studied mice and looked at how female brains respond differently than male brains to stress. And what they found is that acute stressors caused a change of, or a difference in expression of 6,500 genes in the female brain versus a change in expression of 2,500 genes in the male brain. Then both brains showed another 2,000 genetic expressions that opposed each other. So in the male brain they'd be activated, in the female brain they'd be inactivated, and vice versa. So clearly what this study established was that acute stress has many impacts on the body via epigenetic control, or turning genes on and off. And when you turn a gene on or off, its expression changes, and that expression has an impact on your overall health. One of the genes coded for a protein in the brain called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF for short. And what brain-derived neurotrophic factor does is it supports the health of neurons, and it allows you to have what's called plasticity. In neurology, plasticity means that the neurons that fire together wire together. So it's basically your ability to learn and the neurons to communicate. So the more you do something, the more you fire a certain pathway of neurons, the deeper the ruts in the grass get, okay, or the more learned that is. Well, plasticity allows you to change the pathways if you want to, and BDNF is involved in that. And so what the researchers did was they looked at the gene that codes for BDNF, and they saw a normal gene, and then they compared mice with variants in the gene. And what they found was that mice with BDNF variants that were exposed to stress, the females had decreased spatial recognition. So what that means is basically it's a genetic explanation for why females don't know how to get around in their car, right? All the men know what I'm talking about. They can't remember directions, and so they have their Google Maps, and now they have that issue genetically plus digital dementia. But I digress. Another thing they found is that the mice with gene variants in BDNF that were not put under stress had the same genes turned on as mice with normal BDNF put under acute stress. So what does that mean? Basically it means if you have a genetic variant in the BDNF gene, you are preset. You are already responding as if you were under acute stress when you're not. So this explains why some people can be more susceptible to mood disorders and anxiety and things that stress can cause. So that's very important. Then another recent study in the journal Nature Neuroscience found that hanging out with stressed out people causes stress in your brain. And we've all kind of realized this intuitively, right? You walk into a room, there's someone there that you can just feel is stressed out or pissed off, and that changes the whole environment, even your mood. Well, this is the scientific validation of that, is when you hang out with stressed out people, it changes your neurology toward a stress neurology, or your physiology toward a stress physiology. They saw this in men and in women. But what they did find is different in women versus men is that if a woman is stressed and she goes and hangs out with unstressed ladies, the unstressed ladies have a positive impact on her stress physiology and basically de-stress her. This was not seen to have the same impact in men. So what this is basically scientific green light for a girl's night out, right? So you may not know how to get where you're going if you're female, but at least you have the hall pass to go out with the girls and get de-stressed. So I hope this video has been useful for you and helped you understand your stress physiology, and know that if you are stressed, you've intuited that it feels good to go hang out with people that aren't stressed, so you definitely want to plan those nights. And if you are someone who is stressed more often, you need more girls' nights out.